A few nights ago, I decided that I would bake my wife's easy cheesy corn bake, which is just absolutely delicious, even despite the fact that it takes pretty much an hour to make. Now, unfortunately, it only serves 12 people. So since it only serves 12 people, I decided to make a double batch. So everything you see here, from the cream cheese to the cup of milk to the can to the cream corn to the corn muffin mix, all that had to be doubled. Even the shredded cheese had to all be doubled because I was making a double batch. Then, of course, I had 2 dishes, both of which I actually forgot to spray with corn spray, or cooking spray, that I poured them into because it's delicious, so we could have some at home for ourselves, and I could take some to share. So this was the bowl that I decided to use to mix all of my double batch of cheesy corn bake in, which started out being okay. I did all my mixing and my whisking and stuff, and it started to fill up, and I put in the corn, and it started to fill up, and I put in the rest of the corn, and it filled all the way up to 8 cups. That was even before I put in the corn muffin mix or put in the cheese. Well, when it was up to 8 cups, then it was by far too high at 8 cups for me to put in the rest of my ingredients. So since it was already up to 8 cups, I instead had to split it into 2 separate bowls. So I took some of the 8 cups and I put a portion of it in the bowl that you see over on the left, and I left the rest of it here because what had been mixed already, I wanted to put into 2 different locations. So I took 3 cups of what I had already mixed and I put it in here, because if I put it up to 4, that then I felt leave me enough room to put in the rest of the cheese and the corn muffin mix. So I just put in 3 cups. So of course, if I have 3 cups here, then that means that I have 3 cups in one and I have 8 cups in the other. Just kidding, not 8 cups, 5 cups. There we go, because I originally started with 8. So I had 3 in the one that we're looking at and I had 5 in the other. And everything that we had mixed here was in both of them, and I needed room to put in the rest of my ingredients. But in here lies the problem, because this corn muffin mix that I'm putting in, if you notice, this line right here is right at 1.5 cups. Well, as the case would be, 1.5 does not go nicely into 3 cups or into 5. So I had to convert and figure out, okay, well, what portion of this is going to give me of my total between these two? I can't just split the 1.5 in half. That wouldn't work. So I had to figure out what portion of the 1.5 cups to put in each one. And that's what you guys are going to do here in just a minute. Figure out which of these, how much goes into each, so that I have enough corn muffin mix in each of my 2 bowls, mixing bowls, so that I have the correct proportion, the correct amount of the corn mix in each. And then lastly, of course, I still have one bowl that's start off with my 3 cups, and another was my 5 cups, and now the question is, well, if you notice here, this is 16 ounces or 2 cups, either way, and I have to figure out the same proportion so that whatever I've got in here for my cheese, I don't just split it in half, because I don't have equal amounts in my large mixing bowl and in my medium-sized mixing bowl, but instead I have to figure out how much of the cheese that I'm going to put into each one of my mixing bowls and mix so that they have the proper proportions. So that's what it is you guys are going to do. You're going to figure out, first of all, about the corn muffin mix, and then secondly about the cheese, and then lastly, it's my hope that we also have a conversation about the standards for mathematical practice, and that you're identifying which standards for mathematical practice that you used as you figured out the answer to this. Thank you very much.